Earlier this week, Alexander Vindman, who played a key role in Donald Trump's first impeachment, entered the U.S. Senate race where I live here in Florida. Let's talk about that from my perspective as both a political moderate and a registered independent. If Vindman wins the Democratic nomination, his likely Republican opponent will be Ashley Moody, who currently is serving in the Senate. Moody was elected Florida's Attorney General in 2018 and appointed to the Senate in 2025 by Governor Ron DeSantis after President Trump nominated Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State. As Florida's Attorney General, Moody was a staunch defender of President Trump. She joined 16 other Republican attorney generals in an unsuccessful effort to urge the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn the result of the 2020 presidential election. In the Senate, Moody has continued to support President Trump's agenda with a focus on border security and law enforcement, and voted against extending subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, even though Florida has 4.7 million people who benefited from those subsidies, more than any other state. Then we have Alexander Vindman, the Democratic challenger, whose background is very different. A retired Army lieutenant colonel and decorated combat veteran, Vindman gained national attention during Donald Trump's first impeachment when he testified about Trump's efforts to pressure Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to investigate Joe Biden. Trump was impeached in the House but denied any wrongdoing and ultimately was acquitted in the Senate. In launching his campaign, Vindman decried what he called Donald Trump's reign of terror and retribution and urged voters to stand with me now to put a check on Donald Trump and the corrupt politicians who think your tax dollars are their personal piggy bank. Some say that Vindman will face an uphill battle because Republicans in Florida outnumber Democrats by around 1.4 million people. But incredibly, that completely ignores the independent voters. And as of December 31 of 2025, 3.3 million people in Florida were registered independent with no party affiliation, which was 25% of the total and more than enough to swing the election in either direction. Moreover, a recent Gallup poll found that nearly half, 47% of independents, identify as political moderates. And what do moderate independents like me want in this election? We want the candidates to focus on issues like the cost of living, healthcare, immigration enforcement, the state of our democracy, the national debt, insurance costs, climate change with rising sea levels, and hurricane disaster assistance. And tone matters. We want evidence-based discussions and not partisan diatribes. That might be asking a lot these days, but I look forward to following this race and reporting more as things unfold.